But before all that, let's kick off with some news from Hong Kong. The Asian financial hub still reigns supreme as the world's top destination for initial public offerings. And this may come as a surprise given that Hong Kong has been contending with months of social unrest.
All right, let's see some of the details.
So the total amount raised by the over 150 IPOs in Hong Kong this year is expected to hit nearly $40 billion. That marks an 8% increase from last year and puts the city firmly in first place worldwide, according to a new report by professional services firm EY. What's also pretty eye-catching is the fact that over 60% of Hong Kong's IPOs came from the mainland, and they raised 76% of the total proceeds.
Okay, so let me ask a question that must be on everyone's mind. How did Hong Kong manage to hang on to the number one spot in spite of the protests over a good chunk of the year?
Well, the answer's pretty straightforward. While the unrest has triggered a recession that's particularly hit businesses operating in the city's tourism, catering and retail industries, the troubles just haven't frightened off companies from listing their IPO in Hong Kong. In fact, most of the listings occurred in the second half of 2019 when the protests were already in full swing, with that turbulent time contributing nearly 80% of the city's total IPO proceeds this year. Now, on top of that, Hong Kong benefited from some truly blockbuster listings. Among them was, of course, Alibaba's spectacular secondary listing that raised about $13 billion. So the e-commerce giant's Hong Kong debut alone covered a third of the proceeds raised to the bourse that year and also emerged as the world's biggest offering.
All right, since we're doing a sort of annual review, how did IPOs worldwide perform over 2019?
Okay, well, in a nutshell, I would say that on a global scale, the triple threat of trade tensions, pessimistic sentiment and persistent geopolitical uncertainties have led to a rather lackluster year for IPOs. As a result, this year's total number of new listings is expected to plunge by nearly 20% to about 1,110. Global proceeds are also predicted to drop by 4% to $198 billion. And these results could have been worse if it were not for the record-breaking offerings of Alibaba, as well as Saudi Arabia's state-owned oil firm in the fourth quarter.